So if you're an unemployed loser like me, you probably got bored enough to where you were watching random shows that popped up on Hulu. And eventually I stumbled upon Steven Universe, and I watched that show probably a few months ago. It was an okay show, right? But this really isn't a movie or show review, but more it's a review on the idiots that have a connection towards this show. Because if you didn't know, the main voice actor of one of the main characters, Pearl, turned out to be supposedly, or allegedly, because she never even confirmed it, but she's supposedly MAGA, or just a Republican. And as we all know, the left, especially gay people, have a horrible reaction towards people having a different opinion than them. So we're just gonna talk about all the insane reactions to a bunch of losers because, you know, they hate different opinions. So if you go on like pretty much any social media platform, you can go to YouTube and there's some Democrat black guy crying about it. You can go on Twitter and there's some fat blue-haired lesbian that's crying about it and making a Charlie Kirk joke in the process. And you can go on TikTok and there's some Asian lady crying about it. Everywhere there are liberals and people from the left crying like they're in a funeral, simply because a grown-ass woman, by the way, has a different opinion on politics than them. Now, there's a few issues with this that I really think make this a bigger issue than a lot of people think. The first issue is that if everyone, especially a whole entire political party containing millions of different people who, you know, sometimes have the power to make giant shifts in American politics and roles, it's a really big issue when these people react like this or even wish for death on some people, simply because they have different views. And it's a clear indicator that, not necessarily now, but we are leading to a road that will lead to fascism. Fascism, you know, a lot of people have different views on it, but one of the main things I see from fascism is that it's the idea that no one else has different opinions, right? You can't have different opinions, different beliefs or religions, because you'll get executed or murdered. That's what a lot of Nazis did back in the 20s. And you know, I'm assuming people who are watching this video have a developed frontal lobe, so I don't want to have to explain why, you know, leading to fascism's a bad thing in America. But another big issue about it is, it's not only that they react negatively about different opinions, but they're just straight up wishing for people to die if they have a different opinion. While I haven't seen anyone really wish death upon her, more just like massive disappointment and behaving like a child who just pissed themselves. But if we go to other situations where people have died, for example, there was that veteran who got beat to death outside of his house, and that veteran was a well-known Trump supporter. Many different liberals and left-leaning people celebrated or joked about his death after, simply because of someone he voted for. Rest in peace to him, by the way. Or we can look at the much bigger situation with much more proof behind it, the Charlie Kirk situation, where one of the nicest guys on the right, by the way, and one of the nicest guys in the whole political landscape, a dude who showed nothing but respect to these bitch-ass losers, after he was murdered by another left-leaning loser, they all celebrated and made memes about it for over 10 months straight, and even dressed up like it for Halloween and recreated it in video games. So it's not like this is just some new thing, or it's just some little thing that happens rarely in the community. These are millions of people who have this idea and mindset that if you have a different opinion from them, you're either a bad person, a loser, or you deserve to die. And what's really funny is it's coming from the people who call every single thing fascism. They call Trump a fascist, they call Charlie Kirk a fascist, they call JD Vance a fascist, they call literally everyone a Nazi or a fascist, especially in protest. But these people are much more closer to fascism than they realize, but they're never gonna take accountability for it, because 90% of the left are just big egotistical fucking idiots who have no processing power to understand that, hey, maybe in a country that's been built off the idea of freedom of speech, we shouldn't try to take that away. And this is seemingly not going to slow down at all. It's gotten worse over the years and months. They only seem to be getting more upset, more cranky and evil, and more people support this idea of shutting down and canceling freedom of speech every single day. And it's 100% the left's fault. But look, am I 100% saying that like every single leftist is a fascist? No, they haven't reached that, like, pinnacle of fascism yet. Like, they're not fascist or Nazis just yet. But what I'm saying, it's kind of like a socialism to communism situation, where it's the road to fascism. They're leading up to fascism if they continue to be more radical and more supporting of murdering people. But on another subject, this whole situation outside of politics is also just very, very childish and stupid. Their main arguments in this situation is, how can someone who voices Pearl, the character who fights for minorities and gay people and lesbians, be a MAGA? One thing is that most of these people are LARPing the show. I watched the show, usually on TikTok, right? Like, I had my phone in my hand while it was playing on the TV. I didn't pay attention to this show much. But anyone who paid attention for more than one fucking season can realize that, hey, these aren't even humans. They don't have genders. They're not lesbians. They can't even fuck. They're rocks. They're literally just rocks. So not only are these people morally wrong because they're crying like babies because someone has a different opinion, but they're objectively wrong about their own show. They're literally LARPing their very own show that they're criticizing the voice actor for. But yeah, this whole situation is just very stupid and childish. I don't know why people behave like this when there's different opinions brought to them. And of course, I'm not saying the right doesn't do it either. Of course, I think the right also do bad things once in a while, but I think it's more of a difference in percentage. I think there's more left-wingers who support murdering people than the right, and I also don't think I've ever seen right-wingers, like, cry like little bitches whenever someone came out to be a left-winger, because I feel like the right is more accepting than the left when it comes to different opinions, and that's actually just like a statistical truth, by the way. But yeah, that's kind of all. I just had to make this quick video because this is a really, really stupid situation, but I couldn't miss out on fucking slam dunking on these 30-year-old women crying about someone having a different opinion. It was just a perfect chance to hate on the left just a little bit more, especially after my last video where it was like a 10-minute video of me hating on the left. So I think I'm on like a 2 or 3 streaks now of just shitting on the left, and I think it's gonna be a fun little series to keep doing, because it's really easy to criticize idiots. So, thanks for watching, I'll see you guys later.
Hey, it's me, Political Nerd. I forgot to mention, but no, they're 100% harassing her. Yeah, I forgot to put that in. No, it's not just like they're commenting and making posts about it, like they're going on her social media and like threatening her life and wishing for her to die and shit like that.